Hello everybody, welcome back to Jared Opens a Box here on Jared Takes the L, and it's kind of hard to believe this already, but we're already on the last episode of September, and I thought this was a really cool one to finish the month off with. It's actually been a little while since we've done a Youtooz video here on Jared Opens a Box, and I mean that kind of makes sense. Youtooz are certainly a little more expensive than the Funko Pops typically are, hence why they're, a lot more spread out around the schedule. But I think we do still have a couple more coming up. But this particular one I was really excited about because we have some more Youtooz figures from the Godzilla series. Now, if you guys remember, we did do a video on the Godzilla Youtooz. It was like the classic ones. These are also, I guess, classic as well. But we did the Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mecha Godzilla ones a little while ago. I think that was about 2 years ago now. This time around, we have two new figures. Surprisingly enough, no Godzilla. This might be the first Godzilla-related video on the channel where Godzilla isn't even present. He was a part of this wave, but I just didn't get that one since I already have a lot of other Godzilla stuff, including some more stuff that's coming even next month. So I just figured we would do the two characters that we haven't seen before on the show in any capacity, and honestly, I don't know if we ever will again, unless Funko happens to do something with them. I feel like that ship kind of sailed with the 70th anniversary thing, but you never know. That could always change. But our first one for today, that felt like a really long intro, I do apologize for that, but our first one for today is Rodan. Rodan? This is also the episode where I'm not going to know how to pronounce either of these characters' names, so I do apologize, but we have Rodan. I'm just going to call him that. So there is the box there. I'll take off the sleeve. And there he is. This is number 6 of the Godzilla collection. They've done a lot of Godzilla figures, but they've also done some for the movies, so those are actually part of different collections. So there is Rodan's box right there. Side of the box, of course, has Rodan in the city. Here he is towering over some buildings there. And then on the side, it does say Reptile of Rage. So that's the only words that I see on there. There might be something on the inside. It says Fire and Wind. So that's pretty cool. Probably a reference to one of his original movies, because I know Rodan actually had his own movies before they brought him over into the Godzilla series. Kind of like, jeez, everything went falling. There's Godzilla. There's his appearance. Anyways, Rodan decided to fall out of the box, but I was able to catch him, thankfully. So here he is. This is honestly pretty good, obviously based on his classic look. I guess since I saw the more modern movies, like King of the Monsters, where he was a featured part, I kind of think more of that design when I think of the character, but this is what he originally looked like. He was a lot more of this like reddish orange, and of course he has the yellow on the wings and on his chest. Then he has this huge beak with the sharp teeth, and even some horns in the back of his head, and even some spikes going down all the way to his tail. So this was the original design for Rodan, and he's been Godzilla's friend. He's been Godzilla's enemy. He just kind of goes back and forth. He's kind of like the anti-hero, in that series. Godzilla always beats him up, and then he kind of joins his side just so he doesn't get beat up more. But yeah, there he is, Rodan. Of course, they got the winky eyes. They had to have that in there. They couldn't just miss that with this figure. But yeah, they did a really good job with this one. I think there's a lot of great details on it. Not really, I mean, this one would have been kind of hard to screw up, but Youtooz has been really consistent with their Godzilla figures. They've been really good with the quality, and this one I feel is no different. I think it looks really, really good. So there is Rodan. Now, time for our next one, our second one, last one, whatever you want to say. We have Hedorah. And again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I don't know, but that is just what I'm reading. So yes, Hedorah finally getting a figure here. Again, this would have been a really cool Funko Pop. They ended up going with the other one I can't pronounce, Gigan, whatever. But I do think this one would have been cool as well. I think they both got mystery minis in the wave, but that was it for them. So this is number 7 in the Godzilla collection. There's the side of the box. The back of the box, which has Hedorah moving through the city with smoke coming out there. I think that's a really cool detail. And then, of course, the side of the box, the smog monster, which that is, of course, Hedorah is a being made of pollution. So that makes sense. And there's actually nothing on the inside of the box. That's got to be a record. I don't think we've ever had a Youtooz figure that didn't have something, you know, in the box. So let's go ahead and open this figure up. Oh, this one's crazy. So here's Hedorah. This one looks really crazy. I mean, where do we even start with this? The design is just all over the place with this guy. So you have, like, of course, he's created out of, like, smog, of course, garbage, stuff like that. That's basically what this is. And you have all this gray on him, some green that almost looks like veins, kind of all around the body. He does have hands, if you want to call them that, that is also made out of the same material. Technically, he doesn't have the winky eyes. He has the yellow eyes, so they were able to keep that, the yellow small eyes. But if you look closely, you will see that the shape of the eye right here is still kind of a wink. You know, you can kind of see it, so they were able to sneak it in there somehow. The back, he actually does have a tail. He has whatever the heck this is on the back as well. I almost thought it was like garbage bags or something, but I really don't know what that is. I'll have to read up on my Hedorah lore. But yeah, really crazy looking character. I think they did a good job with this one, honestly. This seems like one that Youtooz, I know this is one that Youtooz wanted to make for a while, because I remember they were talking about how they really wanted to do this one. I hope that they get around to making some of the other classic characters, because Funko's been starting to catch up, and you guys are going to see what I mean in the coming months. They have been starting to make some different characters now, so these still are the only ones Youtooz has made, though, so I'll give them credit there. I do think they did a phenomenal job with these figures. They are very accurate to their classic appearances. I'll give them both a 10 out of 10. I think they are really well done. Youtooz once again showing that they are great quality. And like I said, I wish I could collect more of them. The price is just a lot for these, so that's why you aren't going to see as many. But I'm still going to try to bring them in every once in a while. You know, of course, of series that I would collect. I'm not just going to pick some random ones, but I think these came out looking really, really good. But let me know down below which of these are your favorites. I'll go through them again here. We had Rodan and we had Hedorah. Let me know which of these are your favorites. When we come back next week, we're going to be in October. We have a lot of themed episodes in October, and that's going to be kicking off with the one behind me here. We're going to be taking a look at some pops from an iconic TV show, Gilmore Girls. I know you guys are probably thinking, what? That is crazy, but there is a story behind it, so keep an eye out for that episode, and Summer will probably be joining me for that as well, so that'll be really fun. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.